Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Sidelines. Today's episode will be about the one, the only, heavyweight boxing world champion, Muhammad Ali. Before we begin, in support of Muhammad Ali and his story, all proceeds from this episode will go to the research and the benefit of Parkinson's treatment and research.
If you want to benefit Parkinson's research or learn more behind the scenes of Ali's life, then check out The Soul of a Butterfly Reflections of Life's Journey by Ali himself and his daughter Hannah. If you purchase a copy of the book, a portion of the profits of sales will go towards Parkinson's research, and you will receive a butterfly with a quote as a thank you. Anyways, let's get into a little bit more insight about Muhammad Ali's life.
Our story begins in Louisville, Kentucky on January 17th, 1942. Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. Ali later changed his name later in his life, but we'll talk about that more later. He was born to his parents Cassius Clay Sr. and Odessa Clay. His mother was a cook and his father was a painter. And he talks a lot in his book about how his parents affected his life, such as his flair for creativity coming from his father and his work ethic coming from his mother.
However, one of the most interesting things that happened to Ali's early life is how he figured out why he wanted to become a boxer. Back when he was 12, his bike was stolen, and it frustrated him greatly. He went to a nearby police officer. His name was Joe Martin. Ali told Martin that he wanted to whoop whoever stole his bike, and Martin jokingly suggested that he learn how to fight first. Ali took Martin's advice to heart, and that's what sparked his career as a professional boxer.
Later in his life, as he grew up, he, uh, his mother was a Christian as he was growing up, and he went to church and stuff like that every Sunday. But as he grew up, he grew farther away from that, and later he met Malcolm X, who is a very famous Islamic speaker, and he was inspired by him. And later, after claiming the heavyweight champion title, he officially converted to Islam, and or at that same time, he also changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali because the leaders of his religious group explained to him that uh, Clay, the last name Clay, came from the family that would have owned him during like the times of slavery, the family that would have owned his family during the times of slavery. So it doesn't really represent him or who he is as much as like it's not his name, it's someone else's.
Then, when the Vietnam War happened, he dodged the draft because it went against his religion. He received a lot of backlash because people didn't respect him for not wanting to fight, even though he was a good fighter, obviously. Um, then he was stripped of all of his titles, including heavyweight champion of the world. But he was originally going to go to prison for all of this. But through court and fighting for his rights, he was able to avoid it.
Once he came back to boxing after his 5 year hiatus, he was able to regain the title of heavyweight world champion, but eventually ended up losing it due to his declining health. He then, after losing it, retired. He spent a lot of his retired career, well, career, with his wife's, well, kids and wives. He had 9 kids and 4 wives, and he spent a lot of his time connecting to his religion and spirituality.
In the late 70s and early 80s, after he had already retired from boxing, he started showing early signs of neurological decline. And in 1984, when he was 42, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's syndrome. And Parkinson's syndrome is a very severe neurological disorder that has no cure as of now. And it causes like slowed movements and stiffened muscles and slower and softer speech.
Although Parkinson's is a tragedy, Ali didn't really see it like that. He saw it as a test from God, and it was God's way of telling him to slow down and forcing him to have a more spiritual life. With his fame and power, Ali was able to use his platform to get support for Parkinson research and spread awareness for the disease. He was able to become a humanitarian figure in the world and did a lot for the betterment of people around him.
Well, that's all for today on the inspirational story of Muhammad Ali. And a short reminder that if you purchase a copy of Soul of a Butterfly, a portion of the profits will go towards Parkinson's research. And you will receive a butterfly with a quote as thanks. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next episode of Behind the Sidelines.